Do you believe in God? In the past, humans believed in God and had religion. Things that cannot be solved by human power are believed to be God's will. Believe that the entire universe revolved around the earth. Thought that the place that connected with the sky, which they could not dare reach, was the place where the gods lived. From the moment humanity left the universe, we all forgot God. But if belief in God is human, if all I can do as a human is to believe, my God, my universe. Hi guys, I'm kyokaxiavon and welcome back to my channel. I hope you all had a lovely holiday season and a very happy new year. As Christmas has come and gone and Mariah is back in the freezer, I'm ready to jump back into media analysis. Originally, I was going to continue my Women in Blank series, but I have been wanting to cover this for so long that I thought it was about time I did so. For those who are familiar with my content, I have done covers of Alien Stage songs in the past, so this video was a long time coming. Alien Stage is a web series created by Vivinos, Qneng, and Studio Lico. Alien Stage is an in-universe idle survival show in a world where aliens keep humans as pets. But the twist is, if you lose, you're killed. As a horror girly who also loves music, it wasn't hard for me to get invested into the story. But how good is it? And why does it have such a large fan base? Well, lovely viewer, I'm here to answer all of your questions. Though don't ask me who's dying in the next release because I don't know. I realised that even though I've posted a few video essays now, I've never actually explained my background as a writer, which is probably pretty important for these kind of videos, so let's get into it. I have a degree in creative writing, and while I specialise in horror, I write from pretty much any genre except sci-fi because I'm not a STEM girly. I usually only write prose, but I have also done writing for games. At the moment, I'm trying to find my footing in the publishing world, but in the meantime, I'm making these video essays because I like analysing media and totally not just because I'm a loser. Also, this video will have spoilers for the currently released Alien Stage media, so if this is the first time you've heard of Alien Stage, please go watch it first and come back. It's really good, I promise. I'm really close to 1,000 subscribers, so I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. To show that I am worthy of your sub, I'm going to do a backflip. Whoa! Oh my god, so cool! Yeah! Sub for more epic tricks! Anyway, let's start with round 1. My Clematis. As I mentioned prior, Alien Stage is set in a world where aliens have domesticated humans. While most spend their days serving their alien masters, some lucky or unlucky few get to participate in the annual series of Alien Stage, a show where two talented individuals must sing together and the audience votes for whose performance they liked best. While we don't know what the audience's criteria are for voting, we can assume that they vote based on perceived vocal talent, stage presence, and honestly, your personal bias for who you like more. This is similar to idol survival shows in South Korea, where 2 or more upcoming idols will perform and the audience can vote for who they like more based on a similar criteria. I've only seen clips from these shows, but I find it interesting how the audience is usually more biased towards the conventionally attractive or cute contestants, rather than the contestants with stronger vocals. And in a way, Alien Stage feels like it's directly critiquing these type of shows. With that being said, let's begin our discussion with the round that started it all. The first song in the series, My Clematis, is a beautiful, classically sounding duet between Mizi, voiced by Ruby Eye, and Sua, voiced by Sina. As they sing together on stage, smiling only for each other, we are introduced to the world of Alien Stage, though we are also introduced to Sua and Mizi's close bond, which is referenced throughout the series. It's clear that the two are deeply attached to each other, though in this world, their love story can only end in tragedy. Losing by 1 point, Sua is killed. The last thing she sees is Mizi's smiling face as she falls to the ground, motionless. As the audience loudly cheers, Mizi falls to her knees. The world that Sua had protected her from was now all that she had left. Mizi's collar is attached to her neck, and thus, round 1 comes to an end. My Clematis is such a strong opening to the series. The song itself is calming and beautiful, and so are their vocals. Sua has a sweet, light tone that makes any song she sings sound soft and loving, and Mizi has a lovely, versatile voice that goes perfectly with Sua's. I love how their voices perfectly reflect their personalities. Sua was a quiet but happy child who was close with her older sister. Before she left for Fanart Garden, her sister basically told her that she was going to die. This is when it's revealed that the snow we have seen in some of the official art is actually the ashes of dead children. Cute! After this interaction, Sua spends the rest of her life practically awaiting for her death to come, though in the meantime, she enjoys the world she creates with Mizi, one where she shields the horrors of their reality from her. As a result, Mizi is a very naive child, which makes the discovery of her harsh world so much worse. Sua is such an interesting character, and I love how her character was developed further even after her death. She was a seemingly perfect person, graceful, elegant, talented, but in the end, she couldn't live in a world without Mizi. While this isn't confirmed, I like to think that Sua purposely sacrificed herself for Mizi, as this would make the most sense for her character. Sua selfishly loves Mizi, and it's completely understandable. In a world where she has nothing, she desperately clung to the one thing that she could have. But in the end, this made Mizi unready for what was to come. Regardless, their love was really beautiful. They were so deeply infatuated with each other, and in another life, I'm sure they would have lived a long and happy life together. But hey, this is Alien Stage. This is only the beginning of the angst to come. I'm going to go more into Mizi's character later, but she is the protagonist of this story. We, the audience, feel what she feels. Together, we discover the harsh reality of this world. While round 1 is where Sua's story ends, it's where Mizi's truly begins. Alien Stage has such a strong introduction that it's no surprise that viewers got quickly invested into the story and characters. The world is introduced perfectly and is intricately interwoven with Sua and Mizi's story, and you get a banger along with it. Alien Stage really is the full package. One of my favourite aspects of the series is how it truly feels like a reality TV show. We are given brief backgrounds for all the characters, and while they perform, we even see the audience's reactions, which is the typical editing for these types of shows. It makes the story feel even more real. But enough of me gushing about the series. We've only covered the first song, so there's plenty more to go. So let's take a brief segue to the banger, Sweet Dream! Sweet Dream is basically Alien Stage's opening song. It has a city pop sound and generally has a very 90s anime look. Here is where we get to see all the main cast for the first time, including my goat Hyuna, Soleil. And we get a lot of information off the bat, such as Hyuna's brother, Ivan and Till's relationship, and even Hyuna and Luca's relationship, which isn't even mentioned until round 5. Sina's beautiful vocals and the soft instrumental makes for a relaxing listening experience, which makes the song so good. While this section is brief, I still wanted to discuss the song as it's a banger, but it also sets the tone for the story going forward. With that being said, let's move on to round 2 with the introduction of Till. So, round 2 is the first song about women. Tragic. But do not fret, as Unknown Till the End is an absolute banger. Unknown Till the End is a rock tune solely sang by Till, voiced by Akugetsu. In this song, we learn about his experience in Fanart Garden and his main character motivation, Mizi. When they were children, he became quickly infatuated with her, and while the two had little to no interactions growing up, he admired her from a distance. To him, Mizi was the light that guided him through life. Off the bat, Till is a strong, righteous individual who is desperate for freedom. He rebels whenever he can, resulting in the aliens muzzling him like he were a dog. Regardless of this, he continues to fight. Apart from Hyuna, he is the only character that writes his own songs. Till is a very creative individual, and I admire his ability to keep creating such a harsh world. Due to his personality and behaviour, Till was a lonely child, which is why he grew so attached to Mizi. With the context of his past, which was revealed in the recent comic, it just makes his lonely childhood even sadder. I will get more into his character later, as I just want to focus on his introduction at the moment, but I love how much round 2 contrasts with round 1, both sonically and story-wise. While we learn a lot about the world and get a soft-sounding hymn in round 1, round 2 is entirely focused on Till's life at Fanart Garden, and his loud and powerful solo perfectly reflects Till's complicated emotions during this time. Till can only experience happiness when he acts out. He smashes Freddy on the ground, looking to see if he caught Mizi's attention. But of course, he doesn't. She's sitting in a bubble, looking at the ground, in a world completely separate from his. It's clear that Till's infatuation with Mizi is very one-sided. While Sua fell in love with Mizi as a person, Till loves the idea of her. A girl who is always positive, a physical embodiment of light that can guide him through the darkness of their world. Till is a great character, and his introduction was perfect. I know I've been saying this a lot, but Alien Stage's structure is just perfect. All the pieces of the story and characters just fit together so seamlessly, which makes it such an interesting piece of media to analyse. Round 2 gives us another great song and introduces Till, who quickly becomes a fan favourite. Whenever I rewatch this round, it just makes me feel so much hype for the series. But I will say, fly high Acorn, you'll be missed. Round 3 features the song Black Sorrow and is the introduction of Ivan, a weird but intuitive boy who, unlike Till, is favoured by the aliens due to him being seamlessly adherent to them. Though in reality, he is deeply loyal to Till. The song starts with Ivan's life before Anat Garden. A beaten Ivan stares up at the stars as his owner holds him in the air, his life completely in his owner's hands. Regardless of this, Ivan stares at the beautiful starry sky above him, showing how much he admires the beauty of things he cannot reach. As he never acts out, he quickly becomes a favourite of the aliens. This seems to be his strategy to get through life as unscathed as possible. As soon as he arrives at Anat Garden, he is fascinated by Till. While they are kind of childhood friends, Ivan spends most of his time observing Till from a distance. We see the moment when he falls in love with Till. Mizi and Till face an alien and Till is on the ground, suggesting that the alien struck him. Regardless of getting hurt, Till finds the strength to get onto his feet again, which reminds Ivan of that starry sky from his childhood. This, in my opinion, is the moment where Ivan found his motivation in life, to save Till. He almost achieves this as the two are seen escaping in that garden during a meteor shower, but Till goes back, most likely because he doesn't want to leave Mizi. This makes Ivan smile as, once again, he can't help but love things that he can't quite reach. And Park Byung-hun just perfectly embodies his character in this song. Black Sorrow is an emotional rock ballad when you can feel the emotion in every line. I'll be honest, it took me a while to really get into this song, but it's so catchy. Out of all the Alien Stage songs, it's probably the one I sing the most, especially in the shower. Like a black sorrow, a story of such woe. Much like round 2, this one is centered around a certain character where we learn the main character motivation, though with Ivan, we also get to learn more about the world around him due to his observant nature. He is fascinated by beautiful things, and he dedicates his existence to protecting them. Ivan uses his position with the aliens to protect Till from the shadows, which shows how devoted he is to Till, as if he was caught helping Till, he would be severely punished. And yet, he kept helping him. Out of all the characters in this series, Ivan is the one with the deepest understanding of this world, but unlike Luca, who uses it to his advantage, he uses his knowledge to protect those he cares for. Round 3 is just as great as its predecessors, and this streak continues in round 5. Round 4 happens off-screen. All we see of it is Luca, voiced by Bloom, kissing a bloody hand. Ew. Out of all the character introductions so far, this one is by far the strongest. Off the bat, we understand that Luca is an intimidating character, one that is used to the harsh reality of their world and embraces it. Even when faced with death, he is a performer through and through. Round 5 is Luca vs Mizi, and together they sing Ruler of My Heart, which is such a banger. It was 6th on my 2024 Spotify playlist for a reason. While it is a duet, Luca practically takes the lead, treating Mizi like a doll that he can control to do his bidding. Unlike round 1, Mizi is completely heartbroken in this round, as she's still mourning the loss of Sua. Luca uses this to his advantage and transforms into Sua, holy shit! He imitates Sua to get Mizi fully trapped in her head. This is when he fully takes over the performance by forcing her to dance with him, even after her protests. There is no passion in this performance, no love or enjoyment, but for the aliens, it is certainly entertaining. This is how Luca survives and thrives in this world. By the end of the song, Mizi realizes that this stage is his domain. He was the ringmaster and she the performing lion. After reliving her memories of Sua, she finally snaps. She chokes Luca and beats him with all her strength. But even with his face completely beaten, he smirks as she's dragged off by some guards. Before she can be killed, Deus Ex Hyuna swoops in and rescues Mizi after giving Luca some nasty side-eye. While I consider All of My Heart to be a Luca song, we learn nothing about who he is as a person. Instead, we see him in his element, performing in Alien Stage. Luca won the last season and returned to compete again, and it shows. His stage presence is all-consuming, and the audience loves it. While Luca looks bored for most of the performance, he seems to enjoy seeing Mizi fall apart on stage, though we only see a vulnerable side of him when he sees Hyuna, the person that he greatly admires. Luca is a fascinating character. He's undeniably talented, but also undeniably a horrible person, though he became this way because of his environment. He understood from an early age that this world was cutthroat and rotten, and so he learned how to play the game, even sacrificing others so he could protect himself. One of the first things I noticed about Luca was his design. While I haven't talked about their character designs in this video, I wanted to bring it up with Luca as I find his design to be so striking. His pale skin matched with his eyes and hair being the exact same colour give him a ghostly and human appearance, which just makes him that more intimidating. Luca is an intelligent but selfish person who has developed a cruel nature to survive, though as a result, Luca lost his own humanity. He lives to perform in Alien Stage, to break minds and torment his peers, as this is the only thing in life that brings him any kind of happiness. I love how morally ambiguous Luca is, as while he is a bad person, it's clear that he is only this way because of the world he was raised in. Round 5 is excellent, even if it features an evil and intimidating horse. While I've already covered Mizi and Sua's dynamic, I want to briefly discuss the video Mizi Sua. While the video only features the instrumental of My Clematis and not a new song, it follows the girls when they first meet. Sua, dressed like an old-timey baby doll, is shoved into a pod, while Mizi sadly leaves her owners. On the way to Fanart Garden, Mizi cries, most likely feeling homesick, but this changes when she spots Sua. They look at each other, their souls intertwining. Mizi, a girl who was raised in a loving home with plenty of belongings, while Sua, afraid of what she knew was coming with nothing from her home except her clothes on her back, are finally one. While they are pulled apart, we are reassured in knowing that they will find each other again. In the credits, it's revealed that what we saw was Mizi's memory. She lies awake at the rebels' hideout, unable to sleep as her memory of Sua clouds her mind. Even though this video is short, it's a brilliant segue from round 5 to All In, as it slows the pace of the story in an effective way. Mizi is given a moment to breathe, where she can finally relive her memories of Sua in peace. Now that we've covered this interlude, let's continue with the girl boss anthem, All In. All In is the only song not set in Alien Stage, but instead we learn about the human rebellion, led by Hyuna, voiced by 6FU. After capturing a rich, probably bad alien, Hyuna performs this absolute banger. We see Mizi enter the hideout with the same sad expression she had at the beginning of round 5, but this changes when Hyuna and her friends swoop into frame. We see the rebellion do what they do best, loudly fight back against the aliens. While Mizi cowers from the blast, Hyuna fully embraces it. Here we see that this is what motivates Hyuna, rebellion. While Till rebels but is still trapped under the aliens' control, Hyuna is completely free. In a world where humans are treated like objects, Hyuna made her own world. It is here where she can sing freely and of course, party hard. We see a flashback of her time in that garden, where she looks at a starry sky with her brother Hyunwoo and Luca. While this memory makes her feel somber, the tone quickly shifts back to the action-packed thrill ride from before. Though it's clear that Hyuna can't quite get it out of her head. While performing, she remembers more painful memories of her childhood. This crescendos into her most painful memory, the sight of her brother's dead body. While it hasn't been officially confirmed, we can assume that Luca had something to do with his death. Now we can finally understand why Hyuna is so desperately escaping her past. While she is strong enough to run her own rebellion, her biggest weakness are her traumatic memories that continue to haunt her. Mizi literally covers Hyuna's view of Luca and fights back. Even with everything Mizi has lost, her anger is what motivates her to keep going. One Tangled-esque haircut later, Mizi officially transitions from a spectator of the rebellion's chaos into an instigator. Mirroring Hyuna's gun from earlier, she now has her own firearm which she uses to take down the guards. This is what finally brings Hyuna out of her head and back into the present. Together, the two are able to infiltrate Alien Stage, where they will hopefully put an end to it for good. Hyuna is probably my favourite character from Alien Stage, as I just love how incredibly strong yet vulnerable she is. Hell, I keep a picture of her in my wallet because I love her so much. She deeply cares for others, to the point where she will go out of her way to save people she doesn't even know. While her bad memories take away her ability to fight, Mizi's fiery strength is what motivates her to keep going. They make each other stronger. I love their bond so much, and it makes me wonder how Hyuna could also motivate other characters such as Till or Ivan if they ever join the rebellion. All In shows us a side of the Alien Stage world that we had never seen before, and the song is an upbeat banger from start to finish. As I mentioned prior, Hyuna is my pride and joy, so I just love All In so much, but unfortunately for the characters, Alien Stage isn't quite over yet. I know what you're thinking. Kyoka, why are you talking about this? And I know, it doesn't seem like much off the surface, but I wanted to briefly discuss it, plus it's a pretty lady, so let's get into it. From the get-go, the amount of world building in this video is insanely good. Also, I just realised this video was released before All In. Anyway, Top 3 is a promo video for the top 3 of the season of Alien Stage, and out of all the videos released thus far, this one gives us the most lore by far. We learn in this video that for the Alien Society, Alien Stage is revolutionary. Never before had human exploitation produced such a large profit. While Alien Stage is extremely popular in universe, there are some who are against it. We see snapshots of a debate, a news report of Hyuna's group, and rallies against Alien Stage. Even for the aliens, the show is pretty controversial, which I find to be really interesting as up until this point, we can mostly assume that the aliens only see humans as possessions. But for the first time, we are shown activism. At the very least, some of the aliens do care about the lives of these humans, and they want Alien Stage to end as much as the participants do. But unfortunately, they are very much a minority. We also see the gang before round 1. They're in what looks to be an escalator surrounded by glass. Aliens gawk at them from outside, and the cast has a variety of reactions. Ivan's doing a Luda heart pose, Mizi is directly looking at the aliens, and Till flips him off like the king that he is. This image is so unnerving, and I love it as it just shows how unfair the world is for the contestants. They get idolised and loved by the audience, but are simultaneously abused and even killed for having talent. I've always found the fact that the loser of each round is killed to be a bit strange, as why would the aliens want to kill off their entertainment? But in a way, that's the point. The thrill of Alien Stage is both hearing the vocal talents of human pets and the power to dispose of it for no reason. That is why Alien Stage is so successful in this world, and that is really messed up. From childhood, these talented children are trained to compete and die, and only because the Alien Society wants more Alien Stage. I find this idea to be so fascinating. While Alien Stage by itself is a great series, the world is just what makes it go above and beyond for me. It's so well thought out and intricate, and as a writer that struggles with creating high concept settings, I really respect the amount of work Vivinos and the rest of the Alien Stage team put in to create such a rich and interesting setting for the series. We also get to discover what the top 3 have been doing outside of Alien Stage. Ivan is the most popular member of the cast and is a successful model. Till has released a popular album, and Luca is a past winner who is still beloved by the whole universe. They're essentially celebrities, but instead of having big houses and enough cash to feed the whole world, they're just mere pets owned by aliens. The amount of cultural commentary in this video alone is so interesting, and it brings so many moral questions into the story. Why do the aliens enjoy this? How has a show like this gone on for at least 49 seasons? And unfortunately, we know the answers. For someone experiencing this series for the first time, all the videos are unskippable, as if you do skip ones like this, you'll be missing out on some incredible writing. I understand if you just want to listen to the songs, but I've heard some say that they even skipped All In, which is just diabolical. That being said, you can enjoy media however you want, but I feel like you shouldn't just ignore a part of the story completely just because you find it boring or just filler. A first-time viewer must watch this. I mean, hell, it's about 2 minutes long. There's worse ways to spend 2 minutes. Well, with my brief discussion of the top 3, it's now time to move on to the round that took the internet by storm. It's time for the one, the only, round 6. Round 6 is Till and Ivan's performance for the rock ballad Cure. From the get-go, we see how much Till has changed since round 5. After multiple experiments and abuse, along with mourning Mizi as all he knows is that she's either missing or dead, this is the state that Till is in. I remember when I first watched round 6, I was so devastated to see Till like this, as it seemed like his rebellious spirit had been completely snuffed out. While he is completely slaying with his eyeliner and fitted clothes, it's clear that he's no longer the person that he once was. I also find the karaoke scene really interesting. We can assume that Till is most likely performing for his alien owner and the owner's friends, but he just can't do it anymore. Singing and creating music is Till's outlet to express himself, but because of Alien Stage, he is losing his sense of self. He does fight back against the aliens, but like every other time he has, he's easily subdued. We then transition to Ivan's POV. He reminisces on their time at Enact Garden. We see his fascination with Till begin, observing him in both his loud and quiet moments, but also comforting Till when he needs it most. Ivan is, in my opinion, the most loving character in Alien Stage. While he is, to be frank, a pretty weird guy, he is so affectionate and caring towards Till, and I think that's so sweet. Ivan can't help but stare and touch things that he finds fascinating, and while it could seem creepy, it reminds me more of a toddler learning through touch and taste. He is so overwhelmed by his own emotions that he expresses them through physical touch, and I just think that's really sweet. Whenever he could, he would be there to comfort Till, no matter what. The audience watches in silence, not moving an inch, completely enthralled with their performance. Then, Till stops singing completely. They both understand how serious this is. Till was essentially asking to die. But of course, Ivan was never going to let that happen. Ivan gives him that familiar embrace, then he goes for it. Here it is, the infamous kiss that broke the internet, and for good reason because there is so much complexity in this one interaction. While Till is understandably confused and shoves him away, Ivan cannot help but continue. Finally, he could express his overwhelming feelings towards Till, but it wasn't going to end there. Ivan grabs Till's neck like his life depended on it, like geez, he's got him in a death grip. Ivan glances at their scores, satisfied that he was able to protect him one last time. Slowly, he shot down. Bleeding and wounded, Ivan still can't help but smile at Till. Till watches in horror as his childhood friend falls to the ground, lifeless. Now, I know there's a lot of Ivan is alive truthers out there, and I really respect the Delulu, but sadly, this is where Ivan's life tragically ends. He started off in the slums, craving a beauty he couldn't reach, but eventually, he became that beauty. He became a star. He was admired by many, but in the end, he died for the one person who could never love him as much as he loved him. Till is frozen in his place as Ivan's blood soaks the stage. It was at this moment when Till realised how much Ivan had done for him. But of course, it was too late. The spotlight's off. The show is over. The last thing we see is an after-credit scene of Hyuna and Mizi backstage, but Hyuna is wounded and the aliens have set off an intruder alert, making their fates in round 7 unknown. Gosh, do I love me some angst, even if it hurts a lot, but this is just masterfully crafted. The pacing, amazing. The plot, compelling. The song, a banger. Homotron 3000, Ivan. Round 6 was just the full package. I first got into Alien Stage a few months after the song was released because my friend practically begged me to get into it. Shout out to my mod Kimmy, love ya! But to no surprise, I ended up loving it. We had multiple theories on what we thought would happen next, so without any more delay, let's get into the most recent release, Round 7. Round 7 features the disco-y rocky tune, Blink Gone, which has been an earworm in my head since it was released. Bloom and Akagetsu's vocals go so well together, and even though Luca ends up winning this round, Till did put up a good fight, so let's get into it. Till and Luca are absolutely slaying on stage, while backstage, Hyuna and Mizi snuck into a control room. Hyuna tries to shut down the show, but Luca's voice deeply frustrates her. Meanwhile, Mizi watches in horror as Till performs on stage, the only childhood friend she has left. Luca and Till whip out some hologram instruments to play in the instrumental break, and oh my god, you cannot imagine the amount of hype I felt when I saw Luca play that violin. He ate! Mizi turns to leave, but Hyuna stops her. The two look at each other. Hyuna pleads with her eyes, but Mizi follows her heart and bursts out of the room. Hyuna slams her fist onto the keyboard with frustration. Should she follow Mizi to make sure she was safe, or stay in the control room to ensure the alien stage would end for good? As this was the final, they're performing in the largest venue we've seen thus far. Although from the lack of green light sticks in the audience, it's clear that Luca is the favourite to win. Mizi uses one of Freddy's children, Betty the Bomb, to get past the guards. Rip my queen Betty. Hyuna stays in the control room and begins to unlock the alien stage files. After a minute and a half of playing fair, Luca's had enough. He mimics Ivan's actions from the end of round 6, holding Till's face and wrapping his hands around his neck. Till hyperventilates, the memories of that moment returning to him, and all Luca can do is make this stupid face. I think Luca is experiencing a mix of relief and satisfaction, as emotionally manipulating his fellow competitors is something he greatly enjoys, but also relieved that he will now 100% get through this round. For the next chorus, Luca makes grand gestures while wearing a cheerful grin, while Till sweats profusely, trying to get back into his usual flow. As the performance continues, Till struggles, but behind the scenes, the alien stage files are almost fully unlocked. As Till gets more exhausted, he remembers his last moments with Ivan. He struggles to keep himself upright as his image appears on the screen. I'm not entirely sure whether Till's hallucinating this or whether pictures of Ivan are actually on the screen, but regardless, Till is haunted with this loss. Luca goes over and does his best Ivan impression, but before Till can fully break down, he spots Mizi in the crowd. Before we move on, I just wanted to briefly discuss Luca's impersonations of Ivan and Sua. I find it interesting that in both of these instances, Luca's impression is so cold. I think it's especially noticeable with Ivan, who when he's with Till is such an expressive person, but in Blink Gone, his stare feels so vacant and cold. I think this tells us a lot about Luca and how unempathetic he is. He doesn't understand others, and I don't think he wants to, as he seems fully satisfied as he is. Sometimes I wish we could have seen Ivan versus Luca to see Luca trying to break someone as strong as Ivan. I genuinely feel like the only way he could was if Till died, but apart from that, nothing that Luca could have done would have fazed Ivan. Considering that they are both fan favourites in the universe, I would love to see them head to head, but oh well, maybe there'll be a fanfiction about that someday. Seeing Mizi takes Till out of his funk, Luca notices and follows his gaze. Unfazed continues to sing as Till dashes towards her, the light in his eyes relit. While Luca seems frustrated that he is back to his senses, the two reach out for each other. But, as it always does, the round ends and Luca was the victor once more. Till is shot before he can reach her, and in a blink, he was gone. Subscribe for more funny jokes! Till remembers a time in that garden where he and Mizi were hiding from an alien. As Till has bruises on his face, I'm assuming that Mizi is helping him hide so he won't get hurt any further. Till is blushing profusely while his hand twitches, not knowing where it should go. Mizi laughs into her hand and pulls Till close and does a shush gesture. She laughs once more. This younger Mizi is so happy, so innocent, but we are soon reminded of the present. Tears slide down Mizi's face as she stares down at her dying friend. As he struggles to breathe, she cradles his face like Ivan once did. He uses the last of his energy to feel her touch in his hands, but it falls. As the crowd loudly cheers, all Luca could do was stare at the ghost of that one person from his past. And yet, she was real, standing right in front of him, and giving him the same look back. In the end, Hyuna went to help Mizi, but now, who knows what will happen to them? And this is where round 7 ends. Going into it, I thought Hyuna would be the one to die and not Till. As a Hyuna girly through and through, I did not want this to happen, but it was the scenario that just made the most amount of sense. While Hyuna still has her angst going on with Luca, she felt like the most fully fleshed out character. She had escaped alien stage, she led a human rebellion. All in all, it would make sense to kill her both in the story and from a writing perspective, as it would allow Till to continue his character arc, but also in story, it would send out a message to the human rebellion, practically saying, your leader is dead, give up. That being said, I did go into the final thinking that the girls had gotten captured due to the after credit scene, so that's the main reason why I thought Hyuna would be the one to go. But regardless, I think Till's death was done really well, even though I didn't expect it. That being said, Till is alive. His leg was still up, it would have fallen down if he was dead, he's alive! I will admit, I am a Till is alive truther, even though I clowned on the Ivan ones earlier, but to be honest, I don't think this is a fully unsatisfying ending for his character, even if I think he still had more potential going forward. Off the bat, killing off Till was a very ballsy move, considering that he was one of, if not the most popular character in the fandom. If I was Vivinos, I would have been too afraid to kill him off, but I really respect that she did. We found out in a comic released after Blink Gone that Till was raised by his mother in some sort of human farm thing. His mum was horrified to discover that Till was a good singer, as she knew that he would most likely end up in Alien Stage, but regardless, she allowed him to sing as she saw how happy it made him. After being separated from his mother, Till becomes an incredibly lonely person who yearns for that attention and love he had once received from his mother. Even through the abuse he endured growing up, he continues to do what he loved most when he was a young child. He wrote music, made incredible art, and had someone who cherished him. But in the end, he chased the wrong light, and only realised it when it was too late. Till, the bisexual icon you are. Till was never going to cherish Ivan as much as he did him, but also Mizi was never going to cherish Till as much as she did Sua. Putting it that way just makes their deaths even more tragic. At the very least, Till died or fell unconscious because he's alive, knowing that Mizi was alive and safe. With Yuna and Luca finally face to face, there is a lot to look forward to in the next installment in the series, and I'm so hyped for the future of Alien Stage. A new song titled Wage has already been announced, and there was an Ivan song that was meant to be released but was delayed due to Jeju plane crash, so there's still much more to be revealed in the future. The fact that this video is so long just shows how incredible the story and characters are so far. The world of Alien Stage is so well thought out and presented. It's dark and oppressing for humans, but opulent and rich for the aliens. The characters themselves are also tragic. Sua, the girl who selfishly loved a girl who she shielded from the truth. Ivan, the boy who was deeply affectionate but was always going to find his way back to the bottom. Till, the boy who was never able to feel loved. Luca, the boy who had been warped into a weapon by his environment. Yuna, the only one who has experienced true freedom and yet is still haunted by her past. And last but not least, Mizi, the girl who has lost everything, but now has to fight for what remains. Making this video has made me cherish these characters so much more than I did before. They all fit into the story so perfectly, and it's clear that the creators must also love them as they produce so much official art and merch that, as a fan, you can never feel like there's enough content. While the video series on YouTube is what I would consider the official story, there is plenty of content outside of that delves deeper into the Alien Stage lore, such as the comics I referenced earlier, which can be found on Vivinos' Patreon, which you should totally join. Alien Stage quickly rose to stardom, and for good reason. The writing is incredible, the songs are absolute bangers, and the amount of content for this series is so impressive. If you're somehow not a fan of Alien Stage already, now is the perfect time to sink your teeth into such a jam-packed series. I feel like I spent most of this video gushing about how much I love Alien Stage, and honestly, I can't help it. Series like these remind me why I love writing so much, and they motivate me to continue developing my own series. Alien Stage is a jam-packed, thrilling series from start to finish, and I'm so grateful that my friend introduced me to it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I usually have a larger gap between releasing my video essays, but honestly, I wanted to write the script for this video so bad that I just had to get started as soon as I could. If I miss out any details or if you have any thoughts on this video, please let me know, as your feedback genuinely helps me make my videos better. Also, if you have any suggestions for any future ideas, please let me know, as I would be honestly completely down to talk more about Alien Stage whenever I can. Once again, thank you so much for watching this Yap Fest, and I hope to see you again soon. But until next time, bye bye! Now I live in darkness, bring me brightness, show me proof you hear my sound. Live in darkness, bring me brightness, show me proof that you're